I've worked with a lot of mentees as well as a lot of business analysts over the years. I've been a business analyst for over 10 years now. I can't believe that I say that sometimes. But I know that there are people that I've worked with are smart, they're capable, and they're often overqualified. And yet, when it comes to speaking up, whether in job interviews or in meetings, when it comes to challenging decisions or trusting their own judgments, I see that they hesitate. But what I found that's really interesting is really about the knowledge, the pick and drop knowledge, right? It kind of will look like a confidence problem from somebody outside looking in, and even from inwards out, it could look like a confidence problem, but it usually isn't, right? And so what I found is that most people assume confidence comes from knowing more, right? So again, they keep learning. Oh, let me do another course. Let me do another certification. Let me watch another video, right? But confidence doesn't really work like that, right? You can understand something perfectly and still not trust yourself using it in real situations. So that gap is where most people get stuck. Another thing that I've noticed is that confidence shows up after context, not information, right? So it comes from seeing how messy things get in real life, from being in conversations where there isn't a right answer, from making decisions with incomplete information and real consequences. So you don't gain confidence by waiting until you feel ready, right? You gain it by realizing you can handle not feeling ready. And I know that that is quite uncomfortable, right? But it's also avoidable. It's something that you can totally avoid. This is why I see people stall at the same level for years, right? They're competent, but they stay quiet, right? They understand the work, but they don't step into ownership of the work. They're hoping that confidence will arrive first before they can then start owning the work, right? But it usually arrives later, after they've been misunderstood, after they've said the wrong thing once or twice, after they've survived moments they thought that they wouldn't, right? Now, that's not failure. That's experience doing its job, right? I've given this example before where I had to present some data to high-level stakeholders at C-level, like CEOs, CIOs, CFOs. I had to present some data analysis to these people and I had the numbers wrong, okay? Now, the reason why I had the numbers wrong was because I was rushing to meet the deadline for this presentation, for this workshop, and I missed the information because of rushing. As much as I can be a perfectionist sometimes, I rushed through it. And so I didn't deliver what the numbers weren't adding up. And they were asking me the questions during the presentation. And I'm like, apologies, I've messed up the numbers, right? So sometimes it takes making mistakes to learn. And because you've made that mistake already and you've learned, then you can have confidence that, okay, this is how I should do it next time, right? If you don't make that mistake, then you'll never know a lot of times, and you're continuously doing the same thing that you do, right? So if you're early in your BA journey and you feel unsure in meetings, in conversations, in interactions with stakeholders at different level, we'll have different perspective, that doesn't mean that you're behind, right? It's okay to struggle, right? But it usually means you're right where you're supposed to be. The people who look confident now didn't skip this stage that you're at, okay? They just stayed in the room long enough to move through it. So to close off, I just wanted to say that confidence isn't something you collect. It's something that grows quietly while you're busy doing the work. So if this resonated with you, please sit with it for a bit, right? You really don't need to fix anything today. Take some time and do some gap analysis. Understand where you're at now, right? What gaps are existing and how you can work towards putting yourself in the situations to challenge you so that you can grow out of it and get to the next step. That's it. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. You never know who it might help, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.